listen carefully, map designers have to design around the fact players can jump farther. No, they don't, because you can have whatever size map you want, whatever gameplay you want. Like you've just said, you can have a fucking Battle Royale map with Halo 3's fucking mechanics. Okay guys, quick video here, not going to waste a lot of time on this one. So, Favyn has responded in comments to this video, and he made a huge fucking paragraph. So I'm just gonna reply to that now. So, you know, I could reply in comments, but we'll be here all fucking night. I have shit to do. So, right. So first of all, the second Favyn showed up, which is like an hour ago, I automatically got like, I don't know, 10, 12 dislikes on this video. So, you know, somebody from Favyn saw this, and then maybe it got posted on Twitter or something, and then all the fanboys come in and start disliking. So thanks fanboys for the views and the clicks, and I know none of you actually watched the video, but you know, thanks anyway. So let's see here from Big Favyn over there. You know, something is a straw man argument. Okay, we haven't even started. It's already a straw man argument. That's like his favorite word. When you watch a video response and it only covers one point in an 18-minute video, one point that we have discussed several times before, that you now have just explained to everybody, you were wrong all along. Thank you. Doesn't cover anything past the 2-minute mark, then proceeds to misappropriate it. Misappropriate it how? Are you saying you don't think that Battle Royale can work with Halo 3's gameplay, or can it? Explain. And discuss a completely separate video than I'm discussing here. Okay, yeah, I'm discussing a different video that I have discussed with you before, and this video contradicts what you said in the past. So why can't I do that? Am I not allowed to criticize you for doing a complete fucking U-turn? Like, I'm missing the point here. I can't criticize something in this video that contradicts another video. Is that what you're saying? Because that makes no fucking sense. Right? You're actually incredible. Thanks. Your lack of game design knowledge continues to blow my mind. Okay, but you have no clue what you're talking about. You were the guy that said that Halo Reach had the double melees, a point you completely dropped. You changed your mind from sprint to enhanced mobility because you didn't know what you were talking about there. And you originally said sprint was an illusion and it didn't actually do anything to the gameplay. So you completely U-turned, changed around, upside down your opinion on sprint and the game several times on how it actually functions. First of all, sprint was an illusion. Then sprint was an illusion and it made maps bigger. And it made double melees. Then the double melee argument disappeared. Sprint was not an illusion. So you're the most inconsistent person to talk about video game mechanics. Okay? At least I'm fucking consistent. Okay? Even if people think I'm wrong, at least I'm fucking consistent. You change like the wind. Change like the wind. Okay? Right, anyway. Proceed to ignore all my insurmountable logic there is, and that you're wrong. Keep up your straw mans, and always here to laugh at them. So, what logic? What logic? So, are you correct when you say that you have to make maps bigger when you add sprint, or are you saying that that's wrong now? Because you're saying that a huge-ass Battle Royale map, you can use normal-ass Halo 3 fucking mechanics, right? So why can't you use Halo 3's mechanics on Halo 4's maps, and why can't you use Halo 4's maps on Halo 3? Well, when it comes to like clambering and stuff, you might have something there, because you have to clamber on walls and shit. But sprint? Not really. Not really. Doesn't make a lot of difference. That's why you can have sprint in Halo Online and you can have sprint in Halo Reach, but you can still have Halo 3 and Halo 2 style maps. So when 343 made Halo 4, they could have made Halo 2 and 3 style maps. They chose not to, but they didn't have to choose not to. Your argument is they were forced. By changing the gameplay, they were forced to make bigger levels. But they weren't. Okay, this is ongoing. Ongoing nonsense from yourself, right? But now, you can have Halo 3's freaking gameplay on a Battle Royale map. Okay, that's fine. Not saying you can't, I'm just saying that contradicts what you were saying before about having the maps fit the gameplay. Because you were saying that Halo 3's gameplay was one thing, and that it would work with this, and this is how it should be built, and all this, and how the mechanics work, and all this stuff that I don't necessarily agree with, whatever. But you said, always maintain this fallacy, that because they put sprint as a base mechanic in the game, that they had to enlarge the maps. So wouldn't the same apply to Battle Royale? If you have Battle Royale, wouldn't you have to include sprint because the map is large? Or is that just not following your logic at all? Do you have any logic? Okay, because you're saying Halo 3's base mechanics will work with Battle Royale. And this is a point as well, because apart from someone in the comments saying CSGO, what Battle Royale doesn't have sprint? Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, just think about it. Not saying they can't, I'm just saying, just think of one, right? Because what 343 does is copy everybody else. So if they copy Battle Royale, they will copy everybody else's Battle Royale. They won't come up with their own ideas. It's not going to happen. They don't do that. Okay? It'll be PUBG with a Halo skin on it. Is that what you want? I don't think so, right? And this is as poor a straw man as it can get. Okay, it's not a straw man. It's a long-standing point and differing point of view that has gone on for a long time that you've now just completely U-turned on. That's what you've done. Like when sprint was an illusion and then it wasn't. That's what you've done. You've changed your whole argument without realizing it. That's what you've done. Because you're talking about Battle Royale, now all of a sudden the rules don't apply. The rules don't apply because it's Battle Royale, but this rules still apply. Simple as. So I've got here, right, you can have any size map with or without sprint and thrust. I'm glad that you finally understand how retarded it was. You kept saying 343 were forced to make maps larger when they made sprint standard in Halo 4, because now you clearly think that Halo 3 gameplay would work on Battle Royale maps. Quote, won't affect Halo's original formula. Okay, so I don't know if Battle Royale would affect Halo's original formula. I mean, it depends what you class as Halo's original formula. If you just mean the gameplay from Halo 3, assuming that's what they're going with for this game, that we don't know, but let's say they are, okay, you could put the gameplay of Halo 3 on a big map. You could also, right, have the gameplay of Halo 4 and have smaller maps. That's what I've been saying, but what you said was, no, you can't do that. Once you change the gameplay, you have to change the map to accommodate that. Yet you're happy for us to have huge-ass Battle Royale maps, and they're not going to look at and change the gameplay in any way whatsoever. That's your logic. You're saying they don't have to change the gameplay when they change the maps. But they do have to change the maps if they change the gameplay. Apparently so. I don't know how it works in your head or whatever, but that's what you're saying. So bringing us over to this comment here. It won't change the formula, just like Infection, Griffball and Race, etc. doesn't either, because they are game modes, which Battle Royale is also. Okay, let me just go through these here. Okay, so Infection doesn't have weapons on the map. Okay, doesn't have shit to do with normal gameplay. Okay, it's Infection. You start with a shotgun and you shoot things. Very little that can go wrong with that. Griffball, you've got a hammer, and either whether you have sprinting or not, you just run forward. You're in one small map. Okay, very simple game mode. Race, again, all you do, you got checkpoints around the map, and you either drive around or run to them. That is it. Not the same as Battle Royale, is it? Really? Let's be realistic here. That is not the same as Battle Royale. And what you're trying to say here with this is, you can have Halo 3's gameplay on any map or anything, right? So why can't you do that with Halo 4's gameplay? Why can't you do that with Halo 5's gameplay? Why can't you have Halo fucking Reach maps on Halo 5? Why can't you have Halo 3 maps on Halo 4? What is the problem here? Okay, you're saying it can't be done. I'm saying it can be done. It may not play great, but it can be done, right? Okay? And being as we have examples that Halo Reach worked great, and people liked Halo Reach, so you're saying they enlarged the maps on Halo 4, and I'm saying they didn't have to. There was no reason to do that. Zero reason, because they didn't do that with Halo Reach, which had sprint. and the abilities. Okay? Alright? You're saying they were forced to do that. You're saying they were forced to change the map size. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. And that's exactly what you're saying here. You're saying just because you have infection, griff ball, race, that doesn't affect the base gameplay. Okay? But when you have Halo 4 and they have sprints, now you have to change the map size. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow your logic here. Because you can just keep the gameplay one thing and then do whatever you want over here. That's what you're saying here. If you've got a huge ass battle royale map, you don't need sprints. But if you have sprint in Halo 4, then you have to make the maps bigger. I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't make sense, okay? Bigger maps means you need to sprint, right? By your logic. You can have any size map with or without sprints. Still trying to tell yourself that. Well, like I say here is, you said Battle Royale won't affect Halo's original formula. So you just told me that. You just told me Battle Royale won't affect Halo's original formula, right? You can have any map size with or without sprints, right? It's the same thing. It's the same comment. What are you saying? You can have Battle Royale with Halo 3's mechanics, and you can have Battle Royale with Halo 4's mechanics. You can have Halo Reach where you have levels like fucking Ascension and shit. Which are from Halo 2, which didn't have sprints. And then you can have Halo 4 with bigger maps for no reason, right? Because it's similar gameplay, right? Why I've said in the past, question mark. If you have all these mechanics in the game, then your mobility is increased. Okay. Was that before or after you said sprint was an illusion? Because that was wrong. Map designers have to design. This is it again. This is the point. Listen carefully. Map designers have to design around the fact players can jump farther. No, they don't. Because you can have whatever size map you want. Whatever gameplay you want. Like you've just said, you can have a fucking Battle Royale map with Halo 3's fucking mechanics. You just said that. You have just said that. And then you go and you say, no, well, actually, no, because, yeah, map designers have to design around the fact players can jump farther. Right. Okay. To design a jump a player can't make, they have to make a jump that's farther away than go higher up. Thus the concept of map stretching. Okay, map stretching isn't the argument here. Map stretching is not an argument. The whole point is that you're saying that with Halo 4, because they added sprint as a base mechanic, that they had to make the maps bigger, okay? Whether they made the maps bigger because of sprints isn't the argument we're having here. We're saying they didn't need to do that. They're saying that they don't require to do that. They weren't forced to do that. There's no reason for them to do that. That's the point. You lose your ability to intricately design maps because a player's range of movement is significantly increased. But you don't, because in Halo Reach that wasn't a problem. Because they literally added maps in from Halo 2 and 3. So what are you talking about? Why do these maps have to be bigger? You failed. The logic doesn't make sense. But on Battle Royale you can have whatever mobility you want. But on the pit in Halo 3, you can't have sprints, even though the pit's in Halo 4. Doesn't make any sense. For you to actually control the players in the way the old Halo games did, you have to stretch maps and design around those abilities. You don't have to stretch maps and design around those abilities. You don't have to do anything. Why do you have to do that? Why, if you put sprint as a base mechanic, do you have to make the maps bigger? You don't. This is the point. If you take Halo 3, you can add Battle Royale to it, right? You don't have to redesign the gameplay to fit the map. So why do you have to redesign the map to fit the gameplay? It makes no sense at all. You are now using logic that because Battle Royale has big maps, yeah they do, designers can now ignore rules of game design and make maps as small as they want. Okay, what are the rules of game design? Okay, because what were the rules of game design in Halo Reach? Because as far as I'm concerned, in Halo Reach, you had maps from Halo 3 in it, yet it had sprint. So where was the rules of game design that say you can't do that? Where are the rules of game design? Where's this book? Favyn's Rules of Game Design. Who gives a fuck about your rules of game design? It doesn't make any sense. There are no rules of game design. That's the point. You can have whatever size map you want with whatever gameplay you want. Now, I'm not saying it would work. I'm just saying you can do that. And they could have done that with Halo 4 because it was the same as fucking Reach. But Battle Royale maps work with Halo 3. So what are the rules of game design there? Where's the rules of game design that says you can have Halo 3's mechanics with Battle Royale? Is that in Favyn's, have you written that in recently or something? In Favyn's rules of game design? Yeah, Battle Royale doesn't count. Signed Favyn, 2019. What the fuck does that mean? Rules of game design. There are no rules of game design. They can make as small maps as they want regardless of players' mobility. Yes, because they did that in Halo Reach. Because they used maps from previous games that didn't have sprint. Okay, I'm not saying all mechanics in Halo 5 would work because jumping is not the same as running. It's a different thing. But your logic for Halo 4 never made any sense. And you just proved it with this Battle Royale. That's what you've done. You proved your logic wrong. Okay? And if you really wanted to have a Halo 5 with small maps, I'm sure you can make it. Okay? It'll be fucking stupid because you could fucking make every jump with ease, but you could do it, right? You could do it. You could put Halo 3 maps in Halo 5. Why not? Why can't you play a lockout on Halo 5? Yeah, you could transverse it in a matter of seconds, but who cares? I mean, Halo 5's a clusterfuck anyway, so what difference does it make? It's a literal cluster mess. Whatever size the map is, doesn't really matter. Really doesn't. Now take Halo's all mobility. There's a lot less design around. Okay. You can design and control intimate small spaces, but if you wanted to also make a large map like BTB or this theoretical Battle Royale space, guess what? You can do that. Right. But you can't make small maps in Halo 4. Why? You can have small maps in Halo Reach, but you can't have them in Halo 4. Why? All the developers were forced to put it in. Why? No, they weren't. Bullshit. 343 are just incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. That's the end of the story. Like, what are you talking about? Why were they forced to make bigger maps in Halo 4? Wrong. It's still wrong. It was wrong then, it's wrong now, and this proves it. Because you can have Halo 3 apparently, and you can have a huge ass fucking map, right? Because Halo 3's mechanics are just that good apparently. So it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't follow logic. If sprint means bigger maps, then bigger maps mean sprint, right? Because as I've been stating since my video years ago on how to innovate Halo, you can design maps around the simple mechanics and through the map itself offer ways to move the player, right? And this is where you're going to go into man cannons and shit. So in classic Halo, if you want the player to get a certain distance away quickly, you can add man cannons, teleporters, grav lifts, or other things that can make your maps, still make big maps. Classic Halo had BTB, for instance. Yeah, I know that. Those are all arguments against why the maps in Halo 4 don't need to be so fucking huge. Because they had maps like that in Reach too. They had big maps and small maps, and they could have done that with Halo 4, but Halo 4 just had big ass maps. Right? Apart from like the piss and stuff. What worked anyway. In modern Halo, okay, modern Halo is not a thing. There's no such thing as modern Halo. What you're talking about is Halo 5, which is Call of Duty. So in Twitch shooters is the correct. There's no modern Halo. Halo is dead. Okay, so it's not modern Halo. It's in Twitch shooters, because that's what Halo 5 is. It's a Twitch shooter, not an arena mode, but a Twitch shooter. If you want to make maps small, you have to subtract base mechanics. No, you don't. Like I said, you can play Halo 5 on those shitty maps if you want to. I've played Halo 5 on Ivory Tower years ago. I know I did. So what's the difference? But you can't do, so yes, the base level maps tend to be larger. Right, but in Halo 4, they don't need to do that because they didn't do it with Reach. And you have Sprint in Halo Online, right? Sprint in Halo Online. Halo Online is just Halo 3 with Sprint, right? So how does it work then? So Sprint doesn't work with smaller maps, yet Halo Online works fine. Okay, makes sense. Your whole argument hinges on the fallacy that if mobility slash sprint, etc. forces and makes map larger, then that means not having those things forces the map to be smaller. So what you're basically saying there is to stop beating about the bushes. You can have Halo 3's mechanics on whatever size map you want. And I agree with that. So where's the fallacy? Your argument hinges on the fallacy that if mobility and sprint forces to make maps larger, then that means not having those things makes the map smaller. No. No. I don't agree with that. I agree that you can have Halo 3 in Battle Royale. But I don't agree that you think that Halo 3 can have Battle Royale, but you don't think that Halo 4 can have small maps like Halo Reach. That's my contention. That's my point of contention. Halo Reach, Halo 4. Halo 4 and Halo Reach. Very similar sprint mechanics. Both have jetpack. Very similar armor abilities, right? But Halo Reach and Halo 4, apparently because Halo 4 has sprint as a base mechanic, now all these maps have to be fucking huge. That's Favyn's logic. It makes no sense. Halo 4, Halo Reach. Very similar in terms of sprint, but in terms of map design, very different, right? Will we agree on that? Yeah? So why is that? Okay? That's because 343 chose to make maps larger. That's not because the gameplay dictates the map size, right? So what you're saying here is Halo 3's mechanics can go with any size map because the gameplay does not dictate the map size. The map size is whatever you want. The gameplay is whatever you want. That's what I've been saying. You're saying that the gameplay in Halo 4 dictates the map size. It doesn't. It doesn't. The same applies to Halo 5 because the gameplay does not need to dictate the map size. You can let it dictate the map size, but you don't have to. You can make the maps whatever size you want, regardless of what gameplay you implement in the game. And that's really the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying they didn't do that. I'm just saying they don't need to do that. Your point of contention is that sprint ruins the game because it forces maps to be bigger. Where in actual fact is you can have sprint and have small maps like Halo Reach. That's the point. And you can have Halo 3 and have Battle Royale. That's the point. So your arguments don't make sense. You're trying to say that I don't think Halo 3 works with Battle Royale. No. You think Halo 3 works with Battle Royale, but you also think that Halo 4 doesn't work with small maps. Doesn't make sense. That's literally your argument in this video, but it's wrong. But that's not my argument. And not only have I never said that, but I made a whole video years ago explaining the opposite. Oh, you made a video explaining that that's not the case. Oh, well, I agree with that, so that's by the by. The point is you think that Halo 4 can't have small maps. That's the point. But you think that Halo 3 can have huge Battle Royale maps. So why does the gameplay then dictate the size of the maps in Halo 4, but the gameplay doesn't dictate the size of maps in Halo 3? It's a double standard. That's what it is. For 4 years you have chosen to be blind to what this argument is actually about. No, you said that Halo 4 can't have small maps, which it can. Okay, 343 chose not to make small maps. That was a design choice. That does not mean it cannot have small maps. That's the point. Okay, so you have missed the argument over and over again, and you'll probably miss it in this video, which you probably wouldn't even watch this video, right? I'm not really expecting this change, but as long as others see it, I'm content. I already know you'll come back ignoring this. Okay, well, I haven't ignored it. I've read the whole thing. And you haven't got my point, because you seem to think that I think that Halo 3's mechanics could not possibly work on a Battle Royale map. But what I'm actually saying is, you think that Halo 4's mechanics can't use small maps, yet you seem to think that Halo 3's mechanics can go on these massive Battle Royale maps. It's a double standard, because gameplay does not affect what size map unless you allow it to. It's as simple as that. But you say it does, it dictates it. If you have a certain type of gameplay, it dictates something. Alright, so what does Halo 3's gameplay dictate? Why does Halo 4's gameplay dictate something, but Halo 3's does not dictate anything, right? Makes no sense. So what do you really know about fucking game mechanics, okay? Nothing. Less than me. Because you think double melees were bad in Reach, but as I've explained, they were worse in Halo 3. So you never admitted you were wrong there. You said that sprint was a fucking illusion at first. Then you said that was wrong. So you've changed all your arguments over the years, and this is just another one where you've got it wrong. Where fucking Halo 4 can have smaller maps. It's as simple as that. And Halo 5 as well, if they chose to make it that way. So, yeah, feel free to subscribe, guys. Listen carefully. Map designers have to design around the fact players can jump farther. No, they don't, because you can have whatever size map you want, whatever gameplay you want. Like you've just said, you can have a fucking Battle Royale map with Halo 3's fucking mechanics.